On the vast, windswept expanse of Salisbury Plain, it has stood for millennia, a silent circle of giants etched against the sky, Stonehenge. It is perhaps the most famous prehistoric monument in the world, a place that has captivated our imagination for centuries. But with fame comes folklore, and with mystery comes myth. What do we truly know about this enigmatic place? We see it in films, read about it in books, and hear countless theories about its origin and purpose. It's a landmark so iconic, it feels almost fictional. But the story of Stonehenge is not one of fantasy. It's a story of human ingenuity, perseverance, and a connection to the cosmos that spans thousands of years. So, are you ready to separate the speculation from the science? To peel back the layers of legend and look at the hard evidence? Let's begin our countdown of the most persistent myths about Stonehenge and uncover the even more incredible facts. Myth number 6. The Druids built it. It's a powerful image, isn't it? Wise, white-robed priests of an ancient Celtic religion gathering in the stone circle to perform their mystical rites. This connection was popularized in the 17th and 18th centuries by antiquarians like John Aubrey and William Stukely. They were fascinated by Britain's past and saw a direct line from the mysterious stone circles to the Celtic priests described by Roman writers like Julius Caesar. The idea took hold of the public imagination and has been incredibly persistent ever since, inspiring modern Druid orders who still gather at the site for the solstices. But here's the fact. The timeline simply doesn't add up, not even close. Radiocarbon dating of the site, from antler picks left in the ditches to the stones themselves, is unequivocal. The main phases of Stonehenge's construction happened between roughly 3000 and 1500 BCE. The Druids, as a historical priestly class, were a feature of Iron Age Celtic society, flourishing much later, from around 500 BCE until they were suppressed by the Romans. This means the last stone at Stonehenge was raised at least 1,000 years before the Druids even emerged as a significant cultural force in Britain. While they may well have used the ancient monument, finding it just as mysterious as we do, they were its inheritors, not its architects. The real builders were Neolithic and Bronze Age people, whose culture and beliefs remain far more elusive. Myth number 5, it was a terrifying place of mass human sacrifice. This is a grisly, sensational tale, often linked to the Druid myth. The idea of bloody rituals enacted on a central altar stone to appease ancient gods is a staple of horror films and pulp fiction. And to be fair, some evidence might seem to point that way. Archaeologists have indeed found human remains at the site, some showing signs of violent death. One skeleton of a man from the Neolithic period, excavated nearby, had arrowheads embedded in his bones. It's easy to see how these discoveries could fuel the darkest of speculations. But the fact is, the overwhelming majority of human remains found at Stonehenge are cremations, deliberately and respectfully interred. Starting from its earliest phase, around 3000 BCE, the site was a cemetery. The 56 pits, known as the Aubrey Holes, once thought to hold wooden posts, are now understood to be the graves for the cremated remains of dozens of individuals, men, women and children. It appears to have been one of the largest Neolithic cemeteries in Britain. Rather than a place of brutal sacrifice, the evidence suggests Stonehenge was a place of honor for the dead, a final resting place for an elite or a founding dynasty. It was a monument dedicated to the ancestors, a permanent memorial in a world of wood and earth. The few instances of violent death found in the wider landscape are more likely evidence of warfare or individual murders, not systematic ritual sacrifice. Myth number 4. Aliens built it up, the ultimate explanation for any ancient marvel that seems beyond the capabilities of our ancestors. If you can't imagine how they did it, just say it was aliens. The theory goes that Neolithic Britons lacked the technology and the mathematical knowledge to quarry, transport and erect such colossal stones with such precision. Therefore, they must have had help from technologically advanced extraterrestrial visitors who either provided the tools, the muscle, perhaps via tractor beam, or built the whole thing themselves as an interstellar beacon or landing pad. It's a theory that dismisses human ingenuity in favor of science fiction. Fact: Neolithic people moved these massive stones through sheer brain power and teamwork. We don't need to look to the stars. The evidence is right here on Earth. Archaeologists have found the tools they used: stone hammers, or mauls for shaping the sarcens, and antler picks for digging the ditches and stone holes. We found the quarries. The smaller blue stones, weighing up to 4 tons each, have been traced to the Preseli Hills in Wales, a staggering 180 miles away. The enormous sarsen stones, weighing an average of 25 tons, came from the Marlborough Downs, about 20 miles to the north. How did they move them? Experimental archaeology has shown it's entirely possible. Using large teams of people, ropes made from plant fibers or leather, wooden sledges lubricated with animal fat, and a system of rollers and levers, these immense weights can be moved. It would have been brutally hard work requiring immense social organization and a shared sense of purpose, but it was not impossible. No UFOs required, just human determination. Myth number 3. It's only an astronomical calendar. This is one of the most famous and enduring ideas about Stonehenge, and it's not entirely wrong. The monument is undeniably aligned with the heavens. If you stand in the center on the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, you will see the sun rise directly over the heel stone, which stands just outside the main circle. On the winter solstice, the shortest day, the setting sun aligns perfectly between the uprights of the tallest trilithon. These alignments are precise and deliberate. They demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of the solar cycle, crucial for a farming society. Fact: it was a multi-purpose community center for the entire region. The solstice alignments, while true, were likely just one part of its function. Think of a great cathedral today. It's aligned east-west, but it's not a compass. It's a place for worship, for community gatherings, for funerals, for celebration. The evidence suggests Stonehenge was all of this and more. We've already mentioned its role as a cemetery for the elite, but analysis of thousands of animal bones and pottery fragments found at the nearby settlement of Durrington Walls shows evidence of enormous feasts, particularly during the winter solstice. People were traveling from all over Britain, bringing their animals with them to gather, celebrate, and work on the monument. It was a place of pilgrimage, a symbol of unity, and a theatre for rituals that bound this society together. The astronomical alignment likely provided the sacred calendar for these crucial social and religious events. Myth number 2. It's been standing unchanged for 4,000 years. We tend to see Stonehenge as a single, static object, a snapshot in time. We look at this ancient ruin and imagine it has always looked this way, slowly crumbling under the weight of ages. We assume the monument we see today is the final intended design, left to us by its builders. This vision of a single grand design, completed and then abandoned, is a powerful one. But it's a simplification that misses the most dynamic part of Stonehenge's story. Fact: Stonehenge was a construction project that lasted for 1,500 years, and what we see today is partly a 20th century reconstruction. The monument evolved dramatically over time. The first Stonehenge, around 3000 BCE, wasn't even a stone circle. It was a circular earthwork ditch and bank with the 56 Aubrey holes. A few hundred years later, the Welsh bluestones were brought and arranged in a complex pattern. Then, around 2500 BCE, came the main event, the arrival of the colossal sarsen stones, which were erected to form the iconic outer circle and inner trilithon horseshoe. Even after that, the smaller bluestones were rearranged at least twice. Stones were added, removed, and reshaped, reflecting changing beliefs and priorities over an immense span of time. Furthermore, the monument we visit today is not entirely original. By the turn of the 20th century, many stones were leaning precariously or had fallen completely. Major restoration projects in 1901, 1920, 1958, and 1964 straightened and re-erected many of the stones, setting their bases in concrete for stability. So the pristine circle we see is, in part, a modern interpretation of how it might have looked. And now, for our number one myth. Myth number one. The stones were chosen simply because they were big and nearby. This seems logical, especially for the giant sarsens. You find the biggest, toughest rock you can, as close to your building site as possible, and you use that. It's a pragmatic, engineering-based decision. For years, this was the assumption. The sarsens came from 20 miles away, a huge but manageable distance. The bluestones, however, were the anomaly. Why on earth would anyone drag 4-ton stones 180 miles from Wales across land and possibly sea when the massive sarsens were available so much closer? It seemed like an act of madness, a logistical nightmare that defied all reason. Fact, the stones were chosen for their specific, magical, and ancestral properties. The geology is the key. The sarsens are incredibly hard and durable, representing permanence and eternity. But the bluestones are special. They are a mix of dolerites, rhyolites, and volcanic ash, and many of them, when freshly quarried and wet, have a distinct bluish hue and are spotted. Recent research in the Preseli Hills has uncovered evidence of Neolithic quarrying right next to ancient sacred springs. This suggests the stones themselves were imbued with special significance, perhaps seen as having healing powers or as being the physical embodiment of the ancestors from that specific region. The journey itself may have been a crucial part of the ritual, a monumental procession that brought the ancestral magic of the Welsh mountains to the ceremonial heartland of Salisbury Plain. They didn't just want any stones, they wanted stones. The effort wasn't a bug, it was the feature. So after peeling back the layers of myth, what are we left with? No aliens, no wizards, no blood-soaked altars. Instead, we find something far more profound. We find a story of people not so different from us, driven by ideas of cosmology, ancestry, and community. We see a society capable of astonishing feats of engineering and social organization, working together over generations to create a place that connected their world of the living with the realm of the ancestors and the cycles of the cosmos. The real mystery of Stonehenge isn't how they built it, but why they kept returning, adapting, and rebuilding at this same sacred spot for over 1,000 years. It is a testament not to otherworldly power, but to the enduring power of human belief. Stonehenge is part science, part story, and totally, magnificently human.